won't be any city buses and traditional jeepneys just yet when Metro Manila shifts to general community quarantine on Monday, June 1. The Department of Transportation says there will be 2 phases for the resumption of mass transport. From June 1 to 21, train systems, bus augmentation, taxis, ride-sharing services, shuttles, point-to-point buses, and bikes. And from June 22 to 30, public utility buses, modern jeepneys, and UV Express. All of these modes will implement reduced capacity, cashless payments, and health protocols such as wearing of face masks, disinfection of vehicles, sanitizers, and use of thermal scanners. DOTR adds contact tracing will also be conducted. The agency will also implement the rationalized bus route in Metro Manila when GCQ starts. There will be a single route system around the metro, bringing down the number of routes from about 100 down to 31. EDSA will have its own EDSA carousel route, running from North EDSA to the Mall of Asia in Pasay City. Part of DOTR plans for the GCQ include dedicated bus lanes, as well as a designated lane for cycling. Provincial buses will still be prohibited from entering Metro Manila. Transportation experts expect the PUVs will not be enough during the GCQ, which will result in a longer commute and waiting time. Jeepney groups slammed the DOTR for the hierarchy of modes of transport, calling the department's move discriminatory. But the Transportation Department says the policy is anchored on capacity. Meanwhile, the projected decline in enrollees is due to parents' financial constraints and doubts about distance learning. Education Secretary Leonor Briones says she would respect the decision of parents not to send their children to schools this year. This comes after the Department of Education announced the next school year, which starts on August 24, will use a distance learning approach during the pandemic. Filipinos Online slammed the new version of the anti-terror bill on Friday, May 29. The backlash comes after the House of Representatives Committee on Public Order and Safety approved the substitute version of the Human Security Act. At AJ Mirandilla tweets, "Activists are not terrorists. Activism is not terrorism. Dissent is duty, not crime." At Ayo Basejo tweets, "You'll be dubbed as a terrorist for simply speaking up on social media platforms. No one is exempted from state surveillance. Your calls, texts, etc. will be tracked. You can be jailed for up to 24 days without a case if someone accuses you of being a terrorist." Filipinos also brought up the government's mass testing backlogs and lack of concrete plans, as these problems need to be addressed first. At non-popular tweets, "Why is it that in the middle of a pandemic, the government chooses to prioritize this bill over the health of its citizens?" Hashtag Junk Terror Bill tops Twitter trends for the Philippines, associated with keywords hashtag Oust Duterte and activism is not terrorism. Twitter conceals one of Donald Trump's tweets for glorifying violence. Twitter says it's placing a public interest notice on a Trump message about protests in the state of Minnesota over the death of George Floyd, a black man who died at the hands of the police. In a late-night tweet, Trump wrote, "These thugs are dishonoring the memory of George Floyd, and I won't let that happen. Just spoke to Governor Tim Walz and told him that the military is with him all the way. Any difficulty and we will assume control, but when the looting starts, the shooting starts." Hours later, Twitter hid it with a message that says it violates policies regarding the glorification of violence. Engagement with the tweet will be limited. People can retweet with comment but will not be able to like, reply, or retweet. Users can still click through and view the full unedited tweet. Trump lashed out on Twitter Thursday, May 28, signing an executive order seeking to strip social media giants of legal immunity for content they carry. Internet services like Twitter and Facebook have been struggling to root out misinformation, while at the same time keeping their platforms open to users. Pharmaceutical company executives say rolling out one or several COVID-19 vaccines before 2021 would be daunting. The executives estimate 15 billion doses would be needed to halt the coronavirus pandemic. Over 100 labs around the world are scrambling to come up with a vaccine against the virus, including 10 that have made it to the clinical trial stage. AstraZeneca head Pascal Sorio says his company is partnering with the University of Oxford to develop and distribute a vaccine being tested in Britain. Pfizer head Albert Buria says his company is conducting clinical trials with German firm BioNTech on several possible vaccines in Europe and the United States. He believes a vaccine could be available by the end of November if things go well. It can take years for a new vaccine to be licensed for general use. But in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic, experimental vaccines shown to be safe and effective could likely win approval for emergency use. The novel coronavirus has killed more than 355,000 people and infected at least 5.7 million worldwide in a matter of months. President Rodrigo Duterte claims Ormoc City Mayor Richard Gomez would not accept anyone returning from elsewhere to enter the city.
I do not have any quarrel with Richard Gomez, as he was the one who said that he's not going to accept anybody from entering or for that matter leaving the place. Okay mo lang yan, it's a part of maybe the vigilance that a person nurtures in his heart of how to do it. But you know, there are also constitutional issues that are involved, and those are sacred ones. And for those who are not really pronounced to be infected positive, there's no reason why you should not accept them, especially those who are returning to their homes from doing a work abroad. Kawawa naman kasi.
But in a Facebook post, Gomez says, quote, "To be clear, returnees have a constitutional right to come home. But health protocols are in place because public health must be upheld and safeguarded, even and especially as we do that." Duterte's claims are false. In an earlier Facebook post, Gomez only complained about the national government's lack of coordination with the local government and did not say he was going to refuse the returning residents. He also said the national government gave the LGU a belated heads-up, only as the repatriates were arriving. None of the posts nor public statements made by Gomez said he would not accept the returning residents. On May 28, 2 returning residents who are part of the Balik Probinsya program tested positive in Baybay City and Tanawan, Leyte. These are also the first confirmed coronavirus cases in both towns.